Hey, Bruce here with the 5-Minute Handyman. I'm painting a room and I want to show you how I do the rolling of the paint on the wall. So let me show you some of the hardware and we'll talk about it. So what I have here is I've got a room that I've been painting, and we've got about half of it done. So we're just finishing up this one section and we'll be good to go. But let me show you some of the techniques I use here. And what I'm doing is I'm using a 9-inch roller for this. I've got my paint tray, and what I like to do is when I load up my roller, I will get the paint on it, and then I run it back and forth over the slope part of the tray, because what I want to try to do here is I want to try to get the paint pushed into the fibers of the roller. And so I've got a fair amount of paint on here, and so what I'm going to do is I'll start with the wall. You can see how much paint I've got on this roller, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start rolling on the wall. Now if I start by going down, what's going to happen is the paint that's on here is going to get pushed down and it's going to drip. So what I always want to start doing is I'll start not down at the very bottom, but I'll start up a little bit, and I will roll up to get the paint on the wall, and then I'm going to come back down. And when I do my rolling, I usually go about this speed because I don't want to start splashing around the paint, because as the paint roller goes around, it's going to be pulling off little pieces of paint, and you can get splatter all over the baseboard and the floor. And so I painted those already, and I don't want to have to retouch those up. And so what I'll do is I'll just come and do it nice and slow, make sure that I'm getting good coverage. And the paint I'm using is Home Depot's Marquee paint, and this paint has been very good for one coat coverage. And this is a flat paint which dries very fast, and it adheres very well to the wall. So I'm going to add a little bit more paint onto my roller here, and what I want to try to do is I'm going to get a strip all the way from the floor to the ceiling, and when I do this, I'll show you what I do after I get the paint all the way up onto the section here in one vertical stripe. And so we're going to just make sure we get good coverage. Again, nice and slow. It's a good idea also to lift your brush or your roller every once in a while, so that you're not printing the same pattern, so that you get a nice even coverage. Alright, so now that I have my paint on the wall, what I'm going to do, and let me pull this back so you can see the whole thing, is I'm going to do what I call drawing the paint. And when you go back and forth, you leave some marks on the wall. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start at the top, and I'm going to draw down, not pushing hard at all, but just getting rid of any of the marks. And I'll go halfway, overlapping my roller. Again, slow, even pressure. And what this is going to do is it's going to remove any lines or edges that I have from the edge of the roller from when I first put the paint on. Okay, so we'll just draw this down, and once we do this, when this dries, you won't be able to see any of the roller marks. And so that's the technique that I use. And if you want to see any other painting techniques, please leave some comments for me. Would love to have you subscribe to my channel, and if there's other things you'd like to see, let me know of those things as well. Thanks. This is Bruce with the 5-Minute Handyman.